No one ever explained the consequences of curiosity in the Galactic Exchange Program. Especially not to Commander Raylan Voss, the first human officer ever assigned to the diplomatic compound on Varelli Prime, a lush, jungle-dense world home to the proud and complex Varelian Matriarch 8. Raylan had only been stationed there for 3 weeks when he found her, injured, alone, and growling at anyone who came close. Her name was Xira. She stood well over 7 feet tall, clad in ornate gold and black armor, and with a thick iron collar around her neck that buzzed ominously every time she snarled. Her skin shimmered like obsidian, lined with emerald bioveins, and her 4 eyes tracked every motion with feline precision. Raylan had heard stories of the Varelian elite guard, fierce warrior women bred for combat and diplomacy, but Xira had the look of a disgraced one. The medics dared not touch her. She had already shattered 2 drones and nearly bitten the fingers off a translator bot. "She is bound," said one of the Varelian interpreters, an elderly male who kept his head low in her presence. "That collar, custom dictates it may not be removed unless by her chosen mate." Raylan blinked. "Wait. So you're telling me she's trapped, and the only way she gets free is if someone marries her?" No, the interpreter hissed. "She must accept the one who removes it. The removal alone triggers the ancient rite. So what happens if someone removes it without knowing all that?" The translator swallowed. "Then the rite chooses for her." Raylan stared at the collar. It was cracked, probably damaged in combat. Xira was breathing heavily, wounded, glaring at the medics like she dared them to try another shot of tranquilizer. He didn't know what came over him. Maybe it was her eyes, defiant even in pain. Maybe it was the way no one else moved to help. Maybe it was the blood seeping down her leg. So he stepped forward. "Don't," the translator gasped. But Raylan was already kneeling. He placed his fingers on the metal clasp, sparked weakly. Then with a loud click, the collar opened and fell away. Xira's breath hitched. A long, silent moment passed. Then she stood, straightened, rose to her full height, and looked down at him like a wolf inspecting her prey. And then she said it. Her voice was rough, wounded, but proud. "You remove my collar, human. According to my planet law. You are my husband." Midpoint. Husband by law, wanted by tradition. Word of the incident spread like wildfire through the compound. One moment, Raylan was just a diplomatic officer with a small office and a cramped bunk. The next, he was being escorted to the royal court of Varelian queens, surrounded by armor-clad guards who kept sneering the word consort. "Don't I get a say in this?" he demanded. "By removing her collar, you performed an act of ancient significance," explained the same translator. "You freed her. On Varelli, only a chosen mate, or one chosen by the stars, can do so. Now you are her bonded mate. To reject her now would be to dishonor her. And dishonor can only be answered by blood. What kind of space soap opera is this? She has already invoked her right to protection. You are under her shield, whether you like it or not." Raylan groaned. "Wonderful." They brought him to the central palace, a massive tree fortress carved into a living mountain. There in the upper halls, Xira stood fully healed, dressed not in armor now, but ceremonial robes of midnight silk with claws tipped in gold. She regarded him with narrowed eyes, as if trying to measure what kind of male she'd just been stuck with. "You are smaller than I imagined," she said, circling him. "But you touched my binding. You claimed me. Now I cannot return to my sisters without shame, or a mate." Raylan held up his hands. "Look, I didn't mean anything by it. You were hurt. Help. Where I come from, that doesn't mean we have to get married. Where I come from, she said, stopping just inches away. A life saved is a life shared. He paused. Her voice had softened. Slightly. I was betrayed, she added, quieter now. Exiled. That collar was for criminals. But I was no traitor. Then why didn't you fight back? She chuckled bitterly. I did. That's why I was punished. I refused to kneel. Just like you refused to look away. Raylan met her eyes. Then maybe we're both screwed, huh? She surprised him by smiling. A sharp, predatory thing, but genuine. Perhaps. Tensions and war drums. Over the next week, the situation grew even more complicated. Raylan's sudden marriage had disrupted the entire political balance of Virelli Prime. Xira was a former highborn warrior, and now, with her mate being a foreigner from Earth, rival clans accused her of violating purity codes and bringing in alien influence. Some called for her banishment. Others demanded Raylan be challenged in ritual combat. To make matters worse, Earth's ambassador ordered Raylan to play along. This marriage may be the only way to stabilize the peace talks, the ambassador said. You're our only in with the Virelian elite now. You must maintain the bond. I'm not a diplomat, Raylan protested. You're a husband now. Figure it out. To his surprise, Xira didn't pressure him. She offered him space. A separate wing in her ancestral hall. She even gave him her old armor, reforged for his size, and offered to train him. We may be joined by law, she said during their first sparring session, but true bonds are forged in battle. I'm not exactly a fighter. You better learn. I've got 5 assassination attempts on me already this week. You're next. It wasn't romantic, at least not at first. It was survival. But over time things shifted. Raylan learned the rules of Virelian society. He learned the subtleties of their body language, their courtship rituals, their ways of honor and battle. Xira, in turn, began to laugh more, sometimes even at his dumb Earth jokes. She trusted him with secrets, how she'd been framed by her sister, how she longed not just for revenge but justice. You still want me to be your husband? He asked one night, bruised from training but alive with adrenaline. Xira tilted her head. I didn't choose you, human. But perhaps the stars knew better than I. The challenge of blood. Everything came to a head when Xiria's sister, General Vitel, returned from exile. She had allied with Outer World mercenaries and declared herself rightful ruler of their ancestral lands. And to reclaim her honor, she issued a public challenge. To the false warrior who hides behind her alien pet, fight me at the bonding stone or be forgotten in history. Xira refused to step down. We will answer her, she said. Together. Raylan paled. You want me to fight a 7-foot killing machine. She will expect you to be weak, Xira said. Use that. So they stood at the bonding stone, an ancient arena of firelit stone, with crowds gathered from all 5 clans. Vitel was massive, spiked with crimson armor and twin plasma blades. Raylan had only a staff. And Xira at his side. They fought in tandem. Xira moved like a storm, slashing, blocking, drawing Vil's rage. Raylan used speed, ducking between blows, throwing sand, disrupting balance. And in the final moment, when Vitel raised her blade to strike Xira from behind, Raylan took the hit instead. A shallow slash across the ribs. But it gave Xira the window. She drove her blade into her sister's side.